Wanyanu Chumo, Osoli Mojiake, Ubawanani, Aya, Baba Shushui. Amen.
Yeah, that's what I believe. See, his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? More. Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. Beautiful clouds, where you are, there are beautiful clouds, where you are, oh, oh.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
As all, and the law is the law, is the law. Those who said, and the law is the law, did not complete the sentence. The law is the law, is the law. That is the sentence.
Hello, my name is Belinda Anand Kwanta, and I'm with Wezo TV. Now, Madam Minister, international arrivals increased by 1.4% in 2025, but tourism receipts fell from $4.82 billion to $4.34 billion. Why did visitors spending fall, and what is your target for tourism received in 2026? Okay, so the Black Star Experience's own vision is to inject $5 billion into Ghana's economy by 2027. We are now more than a year into the program. How much of that target has actually been achieved, and how are you measuring it? Thank you.
Why did it fall? Exchange rate. The second question, yes, it was exchange rate really. So it's not a loss really. Black Star was supposed to. Okay, so I need you to go and read what the Black Star Experience is set out to do. And as I indicated in the report, it is not an event. And I've also, in this room, told you that we need a way in which we measure the contributions of the sector to GDP. And that's why we're working with the Statistical Service. And that's why I gave you a briefing on the 2030 UNESCO, right. So until we have those, it's difficult to measure. But I believe that if you look at, in total, the efforts that we're making, it shouldn't be difficult to come to the conclusion that we're on the right track. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Am I committed to doing it on my last penny? I bet you on that.
Hello, my name is Belinda Annan-Kwanta, and I'm with Wezo TV. Now, Madam Minister, international...
the original commander and the that's why the Mombia Efakano, the Betu, Abua, Sebetu, Galantin was. But say, am I about said, never was that Halumina, Ebua, my sister free, Ebua. Bianco can say, PDP Aira. I don't try to say, so all are the part now. Why you want the council?
Top TV GH, the authentic source.
The children are the future of our children and our grandchildren. Let that spell and deception be intercepted. We are praying concerning the healing of our water bodies and the land, that our water bodies and our land will not be poisoned. Through this galamsey, something is going on which we won't recognize it today because we are operating under a veil and a spell. It's a veil and a spell of money, politics, and manipulations of fetish and demonic powers. All kinds of things are going on behind the scenes, and unless you go to the back end by discerning of spirit, you really can't tell what's going on. But a lot is going on, and we need to also pray for our agriculture sector and for the Minister of Agriculture. We need to pray that there will be no food shortage in our land. So I'm not just talking about Ghana. Ghana is number one on my priority, but the nations from Togo, Nigeria, Benin, and Zimbabwe, Malawi, you name them. We want to specifically pray that there will be no food shortage because the land is being poisoned. Through the poison of the water, we are poisoning the land. So a time may come where we cannot sow and yield fruit or crops in the land because the land is poisoned. So it cannot bear fruit. It can't yield the crops we need. And even if it does, because the land is poisoned, the food we are eating the tomatoes, the yam, the apim, the contombre, the pepper, everything that comes from outside of the main city, they are poison. Eventually, if nothing happens, they keep being poisoned. So we will be eating mercury. We will be eating mercury. It will enter your system. You are eating and you think it's exciting, but you don't know what you are eating. And these are things that we just can't leave it to the politician only. And that's why I keep saying it is important to pray for those in authority and for whoever the president is, irrespective of the political party, because it looks like this two-party democratic system we're operating is dividing us as a nation and is turning us as enemies. So we hate one another. But I pray that there shall come a day where we'll be united and brotherly love will prevail among us instead of this division and bitterness and a sense of I will show you and a sense of revenge. It's just too much sickness in this system. And I don't know about your system where you come from, but lift up your hands, say we apply the blood of Jesus.
Aye.
Any I can know. My amasa abani muka and Galamsey. Yeah, and a breaking day, no. From Monday to Wednesday, there be Monday to Wednesday,
brag money.
Allah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Brag money.
20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 4,000.
Teacher, you pay crown. We almost there 5 years.
Teachers for my dear bros were 2,000.
Almost there 5 years. 5 years pay no by the day. 1 week. 1 week pay. What's the Mahama? Mahama is a Mahama. Guess na mabana mo de. Guess na mabana mo de. Obi ko school a. Ne ma me papa na hwe school na mo ne nete. Mo Galamsey ni. Wa just bro 4,000. 8 million ko mo sa ro.
8 million.
8 million.
Boy, I bet Jim guess.
I put here now to the boy.
Yeah, matter money now. Money now.
Why is you?
I got question channel.
Oh, a man, I'm with the Amusala to promote go school. Oh, man, no, papa here. Why, 5 penny black? Eh? What a envelope. You said, why? First, can be Benji book and see for on the black. Black money. 1 million mangua.
Man, pay, you know.
1 week, 1 week pay, no. 1 week.
1 month's pay. Where she go?
President John Dramani Mahama, welcome to you in Ghana. And I'm here to speak to you in face to face. Can you see my eyes? Mr. President, can you see my eyes? I said, I want to speak to you in physically. I said, I want to speak to you, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. I said, I want to speak to you in physically, not in here. I want to come to your house and speak to you in physically because what the soldiers are doing right now is angry me. I don't want that. The soldiers are disturbing my children. The president of Galamsey, I said the soldiers are disturbing my children. In Kolano, I'm going to the soldiers for no how much.
Nana upon what in that the second, the beginning of Berekum traditional area. And we are embarking on this demonstration because of the Galamsey activities going on at the Berekum traditional area. We, the people of Berekum, have a peculiar situation. We don't have enough lands, neither do we have water bodies. And looking at the nature of our community, we have to rely on the lands and the water for everything that we do. In the year 2022, there was a company that applied to mine here, and it was discussed at the Berekum Traditional Council. By then, we had Omahine Dasebre Dr. Mankradiawu, who was the president of Berekum Traditional Council, and at that meeting, it was agreed that Berekum was not ready for Galamsey because of our peculiar situation, and nothing has changed. Then we learned last year that some companies were coming to mine at Benkasa. We tried to stop them, and then there were other companies who started mining at Amomaso. These have caused some considerable damage and devastation to the lands at Amomaso and its environs. Now, if you go to Amomaso, people who are involved in vegetable farming are not able to undertake their farming activities because of the Galamsey that is going on within those areas. If you see the kind of water, the color of the water bodies. And I think this is an example. People cannot use it for anything. And that is something that would not benefit Brekum community and even posterity. Because anything that happens will affect the people living within those areas. And we know that this is a test case from Amomaso and Benkasa. These people are moving to other areas of Brekum. And because of the land size and then the nature of our water bodies, I don't think we are ready for any kind of surface mining. If Brekum will do that, then maybe mining. Otherwise, we don't think that any type of surface mining will benefit Brekum. And we haven't seen any success story anywhere in Ghana for us to replicate that. We went to this place and the kind of mining that they are doing it has benefited the community, and for that matter,
the children, the future of our children and our grandchildren. Let that spell and deception be intercepted. We are praying concerning the healing of our water bodies and the land, that our water bodies and our land will not be poisoned through this galamsey. Something is going on which we won't recognize it today because we are operating under a veil and a spell. It's a veil and a spell of money, politics, and manipulations of fetish and demonic powers. All kinds of things are going on behind the scenes, and unless you go to the back end by discerning of spirit, you really can't tell what's going on. But a lot is going on, and we need to also pray for our agriculture sector and for the Minister of Agriculture. We need to pray that there will be no food shortage in our land. So I'm not just talking about Ghana. Ghana is number one on my priority, but the nations from Togo, Nigeria, Benin, and Zimbabwe, Malawi, you name them. We want to specifically pray that there will be no food shortage, because the land is being poisoned. Through the poison of the water, we are poisoning the land. So a time may come where we cannot sow and yield fruit or crops in the land because the land is poisoned. So it cannot bear fruit. It can't yield the crops we need. And even if it does, because the land is poisoned, the food we are eating, the tomatoes, the yam, the apim, the kontomire, the pepper, everything that comes from outside of the main city, they are poisoned. Eventually, if nothing happens, they keep being poisoned. So we will be eating mercury. We will be eating mercury. It will enter your system. You are eating and you think it's exciting, but you don't know what you are eating. And these are things that we just can't leave it to the politician only. And that's why I keep saying it is important to pray for those in authority and for whoever the president is, irrespective of the political party, because it looks like this two-party democratic system we are operating is dividing us as a nation and is turning us as enemies. So we hate one another, but I pray that there shall come a day where we will be united and brotherly love will prevail among us instead of this division and bitterness and a sense of I will show you and a sense of revenge. It's just too much sickness.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moore, and it's always a pleasure, as I always say, to be here. It's always a pleasure to come here. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. This indeed is the day the Lord has made. We're glad that we're able to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. Let me just go straight ahead and look at what the papers are reporting before I let you in on my Wednesday guest. I'll start with the Ghanaian Times today. It says that lawyers cannot shun vacation trials, according to Deputy AG. And there's Get Fund launches furniture appeal for schools. 100 million cedis fund to drive agricultural transformation launched. Damai Mine delivers on community commitment. Special courts, not for political witch hunt, according to the Chief Justice. Daily Guide says Edumohene trial, judge insists on legal vacation hearing, and the Soya Committee got Growth 822 registration date wrong, 4th Estate. AG opposes Wuntumi's bail pending appeal. Damai Mine for failing promises, 400 locals employed, airstrips, roads underway, shake-up at national security, and there's 2 arrested for killing man at Tuba. The Insight. UAE supports Ghana's flood victims with $1 million relief items. Pan-African TV at 10. Iran commends Kwesi Pratt for courage journalism. And as from poverty to opportunity, V pledges support for Kayaye. Medical academia faces continued censorship of evidence-based discussions on Gaza and Lebanon. LMWG calls on AG to prosecute Adamos officials over 377 million city state debt. $224 million suspicious transfers. Concerns on Ghana's constitution review from the desk of Engineer Richard M. Amegache. The Herald this morning is reporting that MPP's Katie Hammond dodges accountability in $1 million Doomsaw era bribery scandal. Major General Ayamdo replaces Limuna at Blue Gate. Family friends demand Omanibo Ahmad bust replacement. It doesn't depict him. Yeah, I get it. I've seen it. So it doesn't look like Omanibo Ahmad. I think the artist did a poor job. I think so. It doesn't look like Omanibo Ahmad at all. So I get it. They may have to take a second look. MPA Deputy Chief Executive Dr. Dramani Bukhari dies. NIMOS arrests 40 over illegal mining, excavators, guns, 120,000 Ghana cedis seized. The News Center says that Mahama shakes up national security with new appointment, while U.S. prosecutors linked that access $42 million fee to alleged bribes. 400 new jobs, airstrips, roads, takeoff. Damai Chiefs Youth hail Ibrahim Mohammed's early progress. SDA chairs to rescue government abandoned Agenda 111 projects. IMF urges quarterly power tariffs reviews. And there's SDA chairs to rescue government abandoned Agenda 111 projects. I think I've looked at that already. The custodian says AG opposes bail for Wontumi pending appeal. CJ rubbishes GBA concerns on legal vacation. U.S. investigators flag $42 million for Ghanaian firm in AXA energy deal. NPP accuses CJ of partisan conduct over vacation trial warrants. SD offers lifeline to abandon Agenda 111 projects. The Chronicle this morning says GBA takes on the judiciary over hearing of high-profile cases during vacation, and there's benefits of local ownership. The mine recruits 400 locals, barely 4 months into operations. The Daily Post this morning says Mahama shakes up National Security Secretariat, appoints Ayamdo, Deputy Coordinator. That's with the Daily Post for today. You have Mahama shakes up National Security Secretariat, appoint Ayamdo Deputy Coordinator. And there's a government announces plans to push many national service personnel into the private sector where the real jobs exists. Let me go online and, so let me rather end with these two papers. So, Women and Leadership says Sexy Vida reportedly dies after pregnancy loss. Vice President calls for holistic approach to tackling Kaya challenges. Focus electronic sets example in job creation, workers' welfare, according to Trade Minister. And as Corporate Ghana International Community rally behind flood victims. Know the law before you travel, a caution to Ghanaian women seeking opportunities abroad. The Business and Financial Times says that Agric Education Fund GAFET targets 100 million cedis to deepen education. Trade grew nearly ninefold to $52.5 billion from 2004 to 2025, as exports drive record 148.3 billion cedis surplus. Zenith Bank's Group CEO received ZIC Pan-African Leadership Award. And then there's We Are Expediting Action on the Reforms. There's Gamanche praises Smith for a record financial performance. Now, on Metro TV Online, you have Ghana's digital economy must leave no one behind. Trade Minister Ofosu Ejari has been talking. There's the Atlanta confirmed Kamal Din Suleimana will miss 2-3 months through injury. And as legal researcher challenges 2 months court vacation at Supreme Court, Ghana, Burkina Faso signed defense pact to secure key trade corridors. Education Ministry refused claims of compulsory Arabic in schools. And then you have government launches Agricultural Education Transformation Fund with 3 million cedis seed capital. Now let's now look at what the quote cards are saying before we get on with our conversation for today. So there's NPA Deputy CEO Dr. Dramani Bukari reported dead, and may his soul rest in perfect peace. And then there's also Forestry Commission teams up with Metro TV for Clean Conference. That's great. More and more organizations are coming on board, which is good. 75% of ride-hailing drivers have fake licenses, according to the DVLA. Stop compelling lawyers to appear in court during legal vacation, GBA tells Chief Justice. And then a 67-year-old food vendor freed after 4 years in prison over drugs she did not own. All right, so that's it. So let's get on with with my guests who have joined me this morning. I'll tell you who they are shortly. Please don't go anywhere.
Tanumo, onunchoni ha odangma, chiechele wekun. Oyanu chumo, osole moji ake, obawo nani, aya, baba shushu. Amen.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 and connect with us on Instagram, X and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less, choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302 998 246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana Colorectal Center, aim to serve a peculiar health need.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, a man swing, Nesansu Mama Hoto so a will bedroom.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all, her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference, Wahuni Diema on Maini Tumpong.
It's Ghana Sanitation and Environmental Conference in Legon, CD Conference, on the 21st of August. My name is Haja Hamdatu Ibrahim Hussein. I'm going to be there. Kuduko kuzu, kuji enna zayi, abinde sa enna ruwa yezo yeche Accra. Mula sonko wa yezo, nyeso kuzo, agwada muko enna za kuyi, nyeso nguwannin kuduka, kuzamna cikin sabta. Don sabta Allah ma ya ce mu bari gidanmu, garinmu akwai sabta. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Would you consider running for president?
I knew that question. The way you were giving all kinds of... Listen, that's my response. We worked very, very hard at our manifesto. It took a number of years. Our methodology was demanding. And our presidential candidate then took the lead. He had a speak out tour, if you remember.
Yeah.
Poor man, going around the country, engaging people. We followed when we did the manifesto. People volunteered. And I want to use this medium to thank them. People flew into Accra. People drove, just coming to share ideas on how we could reset our country. We didn't have money. Listen, it was a very, very good experience, but we all felt energized. Mm-hmm. We had a draft of a manifesto. We stepped out to campaign, went everywhere. The people of Ghana were merciful. They voted for us for a reason. They voted massively, and we remain grateful. They didn't vote for us today to be talking about going or not going. They said we should come and solve the problems. Mm-hmm. We have an agenda. What we inherited was a very, very tough situation. We have work to do. Whether we are going or coming depends on the work we are doing. It depends on the support we are giving our president, who is leading the charge. And it depends on the quality of support we are giving. And if you're already going left and right and center and back, and it's not even time, I think it's a betrayal of the cause of the people. And I don't think it is right. So please help us to fulfill the dreams of this beautiful country that we know can do much better even than it is doing now. Let us focus on getting the job done. And I think that, speaking for myself, that is what I want to do.
Keep the focus,
Let's
build the nation,
thank you.
Deliver results.
Thank you very much.
Show some love, man.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My guests are here, my Wednesday guest. One is irregular, the other seat can change depending on the circumstances. So Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. is former managing editor of the Insight newspaper. He's a constant. The other seat is a variable. He's also a seasoned and a veteran journalist who's joined us on the show today. And let me say a very good morning to him, sir. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Thank you so very much, Uncle Kwesi. As we affectionately call him, Uncle Kwesi. On the other seat is a former MP, a former deputy minister, and also a former minister. He is a private legal practitioner as well. I'm talking about the man Andrew Kofi Ejapa Mensah. He is with us this morning. Of course, he's a member of the New Patriotic Party and a key member of the New Patriotic Party. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Morning.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have you join us on the show.
Morning to my senior.
Yes. Darling, if you connect me to your fashion designer, he's good. Oh no, I mean.
Things that he's wearing.
Adia F and the Tonio. He's refused to give me that.
He's a young man in there.
Okay.
Mamobi, eh?
Oh, okay, Mamobi. Yeah. Right.
Mamobi is the one close to Nima.
Rather to Nima, yes. Close to Accra girls.
So I'll put you in touch with him.
No, he's good. He's very good. You know?
It's called Sabu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very good. He's very, very good. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Because anytime I see you, you know, in your house, I always say, Kana Bulala. You say they look good. Every time I see this man, you know, his sense of fashion is unbelievable. I want to see, he says you give me the contact, so that's fine. His fashion designer is also very good. Uncle Kwesi. Because you know I follow you on Twitter, which is now X. Okay. I follow you, and it would be very unwise and very unhelpful on my part not to follow you. So, because I like the perspectives that you share. There was one that you shared recently. I saw it and I said, okay, that's a very interesting thought. This one is not a typical newspaper review matter, but you know, once in a while on Good Morning, we have that latitude to raise an issue. And obviously, I know you're not comfortable when we talk about issues that are outside of the newspapers, but this one, I beg you, it's very important. It's a very important conversation. None of the papers have picked it up or have published it, but there was something you put up on your Twitter handle, which is now X, and you're saying that hashtag talking tough. Vice President Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is really talking tough. In an interview on the KSM show, she said members of government who are aspiring to replace President John Dramani Mahama and are peaking before their time are betraying the trust of the people. She said what is important now is not declaration of intent to be president, but concrete and good quality support for the president to realize the promises he made to the people of Ghana. The vice president and the executive secretary to the president are clearly on the same page, but it is not clear what will happen to those who are peaking before their time. You know, and the reason why I am bringing this to the fore, because you have sat on this show not once, not twice, must have been about 3 or 4 times. And you have also been exceedingly concerned about the attitude of some appointees of this government and the fact that they are peaking ahead of their time. And you have also said the same thing, that it's actually a betrayal to not just President Mahama, it's a betrayal of the very people who queued on the 7th of December to vote for this government. Do you have any idea whether the Vice President was listening to you on Good Morning Ghana? Because that's essentially what she's also saying. I don't know what you make of these comments that she said. Of course, you've put it up on Twitter, but if you can shed some more light on why you thought it was necessary to put this one out.
Excuse me. Well, first of all, I'm not the only person who thinks this way. There are many people who think this way, and prominent amongst them are the executive secretary to the president.
Okay.
Now, the vice president too, and also, interestingly, the Council of Elders
of the party
of the National Democratic Congress.
Okay.
And many, many others think the same. Now, I think it's important to note that these tough battles and these struggles, you know, for the presidency and so on, have had a very negative impact on government. You recall recently the battle of words between ministers about who is speaking the truth and who is not speaking the truth and so on. Now, all of this has been traced to this battle for supremacy and so on. I think it's most unhealthy. And to a very large extent, the Vice President is right when she sees this as a betrayal of the trust of the people. This government had a mandate to do many things, prominent amongst them Galamsey, you know, the fight against corruption, you know, the resetting agenda and so on. And less than halfway through its mandate, people who are supposed to be focusing on the job are jumping into the fray and making all kinds of declarations. I think it's not healthy. And those people have included ministers, they've included some CEOs, some party officials, and some persons in the diplomatic arena. I find this completely, you know, unsavory. And what has shocked me, however, is the fact that no strong action beyond reprimand has been taken against such persons, because they are obviously rocking the boat. Now, my brother, I'm going to say something which I think is serious. You see, there's an assumption in the political space that no matter what happens, the National Democratic Congress will win 2028. I think that assumption is not just faulty, it is amateurish. You understand? Because so many things can happen which can change the current situation. Okay? Yes, it is true that this administration won the election by a very wide margin. It is true that there have been significant improvements, you know, in different sectors of the national life and so on. As things stand now, it would appear that the victory of the NDC in 2028 is unassailable. But only amateurs can think this way. And I'll give you just one scenario. This government has come up with a process to review the 1992 Constitution. Some of the suggestions that are being put up, for example, are that dual citizens can hold any position excepting the presidency and the vice president. You do know that that's a very unpopular move. You know, I listen to people and so on. I visit communities and so on. That's very, very unpopular, you know. Now, just imagine a situation where the opposition counters the government position and manages to generate a momentum, serious momentum, leading to a referendum on the constitution. And the government position loses in that referendum. That momentum which is generated alone is sufficient to ensure the defeat of government. The government may have done very well, on the economy, it may have done very well on road construction, it may have done very well, but if it allows a political momentum to be generated, it can lead to the defeat of the National Democratic Congress in the 2028 elections. That's one scenario. The other scenario is that at every time that you're doing political analysis, you've got to pay attention to the imponderables. And there are many imponderables. One major national scandal is sufficient to overshadow all the gains that have been made and to propel the National Democratic Congress into opposition in 2028. So at this stage, it's important for the National Democratic Congress to keep its eyes on the ball. First, to make sure that no major scandal emerges, and that its opponents are not able to generate a momentum, which may be even on a peripheral issue, not on the main issue, on a peripheral issue. If the NDC wants to win 2028, it's got to keep its eyes on the ball. And that cannot be done when ministers who meet in cabinet every Thursday, they meet in cabinet every Thursday in order to synchronize what they are doing, in order to ensure that they are all on the same page, in order to understand what other ministers are doing and so on. Publicly fight over figures and assumptions. That's not keeping your eye on the ball. Organizing all kinds of funny activities, keep fake clubs and whatnots and church picnics and so on, in order to enhance personal ambitions, is not keeping your eye on the ball. You understand? It's missing the point. It's actually betraying the trust of the people. And somehow, all of us want a certain level of stability. All of us. It doesn't matter where we are. Even leaders of the New Patriotic Party are committed to a certain level of national stability. Because if there's a coup d'etat tomorrow morning, they cannot win 2028 elections. If there's a coup d'etat tomorrow, Parliament will be dissolved. It would affect the majority and the minority.
Yeah.
If there's a coup d'etat of the type that we had in 1979 tomorrow, women will be stripped naked and whipped on the streets and so on. I don't think that many people in this country want that. And the only way to avoid that is to make sure that government delivers, that the economy improves, that the roads improve, that food is available to the people, that transport costs are either maintained or comes down. You understand what I'm saying? Right. That's the only way. So to start jumping around from village to village, from hamlet to hamlet, and pretending to be presidential candidates already and so on, is very damaging to the government, very damaging to the National Democratic Congress, and very damaging to the cause of the people. Indeed, to speak very, very mildly, and this one I want to be very mild.
Please do. Please be very mild.
It's extremely reckless. And that is to speak very mildly. What these chaps are doing is reckless in the extreme. And sometimes I just wonder, what makes people wake up in the morning, people in government wake up in the morning, stand in front of the mirror, look at themselves, perhaps dip their hands in their pocket, feel a few, notes
like I just did.
So
unaware that you are going to make a comment about putting hands in pockets.
Where do you get these fresh dollars from?
Oh, please.
Oh, okay.
I just took my handkerchief out.
Okay. I thought I saw some dollars.
And then jump in front of the microphone and declare themselves presidents.
Yeah.
I just wonder. You understand? The presidency of Ghana is very special because it was occupied by somebody like Kwame Nkrumah. So those who want to be president, they have to get it into their heads that they want to occupy Kwame Nkrumah's position. To decide to occupy Kwame Nkrumah's position must not come easy. The position they want to occupy was once occupied by Kwame Nkrumah. I don't think they think about that. You know, they look themselves in the mirror. Maybe they think they have fine mustache. You understand? Maybe they think they look good in their glasses or something. And then they fall for the delusion and just wake up proclaiming themselves as future presidents and so on. Who told them? So that's my attitude.
Yes.
You know, I think it's too early. I think it's reckless in the extreme. You know,
Yes.
but who am I?
But you raised the issue about you wondering why there hasn't been any kind of movement in government, you know, on the back of persons who are seen to be, especially in some cases, some of them have even publicly, you know, stated that yes, they want to succeed President John Dramani Mahama. And you're wondering why no action has been taken, you know, and these persons have been allowed.
That's very strange.
No, but some shake-up just started. Just last week, there's been a shake-up. Now that the majority leader is going to local government.
None of the people who was affected in that reshuffle has proclaimed an interest to replace President John Dramani.
The point I'm trying to make is that it has started.
Well, if you think so, if that is the case, you understand. Because, listen, and I will never be president of Ghana to start with. At my age, given my experience and everything, I will never be president of Ghana.
Or you don't even want to become president?
I don't even see the conditions under which I can start dreaming of becoming president of Ghana. Okay. But listen, if ever I were president and a member of cabinet, a minister, goes public and says the figures churned out by the finance minister are false and so on, that minister will be sacked instantly.
Isn't that a bit harsh?
Pardon?
Isn't that a bit harsh, obviously?
That minister has an opportunity to discuss these matters in cabinet.
Okay.
If that minister has any problems with another minister, he has the opportunity to discuss it in cabinet. There are many, many avenues of thrashing out such issues and so on. If that minister chooses the media to vent out his frustrations, which may not be grounded in fact, and so on, clearly that minister is intending to bring the government into disrepute. You understand? And if I were in opposition, if I were in the position of Ejapa Mensah and so on, that matter would drag it for 10 years.
Wow.
Yes. A minister actually saying the figures presented by his own government are false. Figures presented by his own government to Parliament for approval are false.
But it was confirmed in the media.
Master, whatever it is, that minister is unworthy of his position. Because if the figures are false, correct them in your appropriate circles as well.
Right.
You understand? So, look, it's up to President Mahama to make a decision. He may choose to preside over the emerging chaos, you know, or he may choose to restore sanity in the government system to ensure that he's able to build his legacy. Because this is legacy moment for him. You know, and listen, this is what history will record. As at now, by the time President Mahama finishes his term, he would have become the longest serving elected president in Ghana's history.
True.
Kwame Nkrumah's government lasted 9 years. Under the current agreement, that would be 2 terms plus 1 year. President John Mahama would exceed that by 2028.
Sure.
You understand?
How is he going to be able to do that?
Because he served part of President Mill's term.
6 months.
Less than 6 months. Yes, that's true. Uncle, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say
so
that is true.
Second to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
No. They're counting months.
Yes.
That would be almost the equivalent. What is 6 months in a life base?
I get it.
But the point I'm making is this. He would have become, and perhaps maybe he will be the only person to have that opportunity.
Right.
Because we are not expecting other presidents to die before their term. And if other presidents do not die before their term, that will be his record in the history of Ghana. That record should not be played with lightly.
I get it.
You understand? Today, if you talk about national infrastructure, if you talk about national vision, if you talk about Pan-Africanism, if you talk about the national liberation struggle and so on, nobody has equaled the record of Kwame Nkrumah. And that was within 9 years. So let us assume that President Mahama would serve 8 years, 6 months. What record, he has to pitch against is the record of Kwame Nkrumah.
Right.
And I pity him sometimes,
All right. Well, Andrew, were you one of those who was waiting to hear from the Vice President as to what her political future looks like, especially in the face of all this Musa Dankwa polls and all the little talk in town as to who succeeds President Mahama, and saw persons who were doing things and saying things to sort of suggest that they want to succeed him. I mean, after listening to the Vice President, I don't know what has been going through your mind.
Well, I guess good morning is appropriate to our cherished viewers, my senior and your good self. Truth be told, hearing the interview of the Vice President for the first time this morning when you played it on your screen, I didn't have the privilege of watching her on KSM's show. But when she began speaking, I made a comment, of air, whether it's a political answer. I'm not so sure whether I agree with Senior when he says people should essentially shelve the ambition necessarily and focus on the mandate that the NDC was given by the people of Ghana in December 2024. Because I don't think that it's mutually exclusive. You can deliver on your mandate and still nurture and work towards achieving your ambition. Because whether we like it or not, there will be primaries in the NDC to select a leader for the 2028 general election. Any suggestion that everybody who aspires to put himself up should wait until that time, I frankly don't think it's neither here nor there. But of course, everybody is entitled to his position. The talk by the executive secretary to the president, the lamentations, as I described it at the time, subsequently listening to the vice president, clearly tells me that maybe the center really cannot hold. Because yes, I agree, it was really tardy, the issue that came up between the finance ministry and the agric ministry. And it was funny watching the clip when my good friend Ampim was reading from the script and the expression that Eric Opoku put up, suggesting that, hey, what are you talking about? These figures that you are churning out, it's not entirely accurate. But then again, it's important for credibility of the information that is emanating from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And so, Finance.
Finance Ministry.
Thank you. So, really, I mean, it was a serious situation for the two ministries to subsequently, after that engagement, banter publicly. I think the president should have acted like he said, But I guess that he himself is thinking of his exit.
Good. So but apart from that, Mesa, Mesa, the context within which this banter was being done is also important. You see, the two of them, the Greek minister, the finance minister, are said to be nursing certain ambitions.
Yeah, I was coming there.
Oh, you're coming there. Okay.
I was coming there because.
So everybody for protecting reputation.
So I was just reading. I just queried AI to give me which ministers have openly declared. And, the response I got was that Eric Opoku's aide, not himself, has declared that yes, his.
No, Eric himself has publicly.
I'm not aware.
Must have been alright. We played it.
Well, that's fine.
AI is not perfect.
I know.
Oh, yeah, that's
I know.
Right. No, but Eric has publicly declared that he's interested and he wants to become president someday.
In fact, there's a clear caveat when you source info from AI that tells you that the information may not be entirely accurate. So you need to check. And so it's good to add, some additional information that may be known to you. But I'm saying that I haven't heard him. And what I checked was that his aide has said so. But if he himself has gone ahead to confirm it, I really don't have any difficulty with that, like I said from the very beginning. He is a Ghanaian citizen who is qualified to contest for presidency. If he says that, well, when the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to put my name up. It's not committed any crime. So long as he's delivering with the work that the president has assigned to him at the Agric Ministry, if they are working, and they are not being used for light soup on Sunday afternoons by the beneficiaries, and whether it's value for money to our country, that 245 million cedis is disbursed to, if you like, boost poultry production. The understanding from what we were told was that this was going to, one, lead to job creation, and two, help in reducing our import bill in poultry. Ends up being used for light soup. Whether it's good value for money, the good people of this country will decide in 2028. So if that his ambition really is not conflicting with his work, I really don't have any difficulty. But I was going to say that beyond him, if it's indeed established that he has come out publicly to declare, it's a pollster who is...
We'll get to the video, don't worry.
Who has done an assessment, or who has pulled a certain block of people and has come out with certain parameters as regards who the people, the NDC electorate, deemed to be the best fit post the Mahama era. The fact that they themselves haven't come out to disassociate themselves from those surveys that are being churned out on a man-by-man basis by Musa Dankwa and his Global Info Analytics. How is anybody going to fault him? I fail to see that.
Right.
But otherwise, if there are clear issues of, facts regarding people not paying attention to the work that has been given to them, the expectation from myself, and like you rightly said, would be for His Excellency the President, who is the only elected official, to act. After all, he's the only one that the good people of Ghana know. He is the one whose face was on the ballot. Appointing people to assist him in doing his work, vest him with the power to change them if he thinks that some ambitions that they are nurturing is being destructive. It's up to him. But if he's not going to act,
So
indeed, and the executive secretary is going to lament, and the vice president is going to also grant interviews complaining. I fail to see how that impresses me in any way.
So assess your appointees purely based on performance, not necessarily ambition.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Moro, there's a problem here.
With that.
You see, there's an inherent principle in joining organizations, especially political parties.
Right.
That is simple. Once you join a political party, you surrender your personal ambition to collective ambition.
Right.
Your personal ambition cannot, under any circumstance, be allowed to get into the way of collective ambition. Otherwise, why are you a member of a political party?
Right.
You understand? If you think that you are super, your personal ambition overrides everything and so on, don't belong to a political party. Act as an independent. You understand?
Right.
Once you join a political party, you have a duty to subject your personal ambition to collective ambition.
Right.
Then there's also the question about how do leaders emerge? Self-proclamation? I don't think so. Leaders emerge because of the recognition by the collective that they've made more sacrifices, that they represent aspirations of the total, not the individual, and so on. That's how leaders emerge. Now, if you get into a situation where personal individual ambitions override collective ambitions, then you have a problem. You understand? So those who say that there's nothing wrong with being ambitious and so on, they have a problem to deal with. And that problem is simply the collective will, collective ambition, as opposed to personal individual ambition. You understand?
Right.
And especially when personal individual ambition conflicts with national aspirations, conflict with collective ambition and so on, then there's a problem which needs to be resolved.
Right.
That's the point I'm making.
But I guess the point, Uncle Kwesi, is how do we tell if the person's ambition is conflicting with the work the person has been given to do? I think that's the tone.
We have demonstrated that this morning. Both Japan and I have demonstrated that this morning. I'm sure you have heard clearly some persons in authority complaining that they are not getting their budgetary requirements either in full or in time because there's a suspicion that they may run against the finance minister in 2028. I'm sure you've heard that. There's no secret about that. You understand? Now, when this leads to public altercation, when this leads to exchange of words in the media, when this leads to challenging official figures and so on, then there's a problem. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, again, all of us have been watching the scene, mostly quietly. If you see the effort which is being put into promoting the personal ambition of individuals, you marvel. If that effort was put in the collective aspiration, what do you think would happen? Just imagine. Look, these days, I'm compelled, as all of us are, to pay attention to social media. Look at the effort that is being put into the promotion of personal ambitions. And imagine if that effort was being put into pushing the collective ambition, how far the collective ambition would have gotten.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, and let's face it, many people within the NDC and even outside the NDC are noticing that the communications machinery of the NDC has become very weak. Very, very weak.
Right.
You understand? It is slow in responding to criticism. It is not effective in putting out counterfacts and so on. You know that. What's the explanation?
Right.
The explanation is out there. You know what the explanation is.
But always, let me ask you this. If you're president today, I'm told we need to take a short break. When I come back, I want to ask you a very interesting question, and maybe you can help President John Dramani Mahama with with what to do in situations like that. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm still here with Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is a former managing editor of the Insight newspaper. The veteran journalist also here is Andrew Kofi Ejapa Mesa, who is a former MP and former deputy minister, former minister, so he's also a lawyer. Please stay with us.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. It makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits. Happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Monsieur Femi Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Monsieur Femi once now.
Hey, that's you. Impruka. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Maybe this Sasso spray. Monsieur Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tum preko.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPal.
EduPal?
Yes, EduPal. a GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.eduparkgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPark, approved and supported by GES.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference, Wahuni Diema on Mining Tumpong.
Yeah, what did it say? Say Honorable Eric Opokunyame Adoma, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, or the term or the barrier Asian say oh, in fact, it's a good question. We are doing near Tiasi. Now, can you see be where Nima Nipako Hoye, Namitias and Guandia, a done do Namasumikobia. I didn't say Samikobi. Ah!
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is live on 94.1 FM. I'm still here with my guest, and the conversation will continue. All right, I think it was Andy?
You said you wanted to ask him something.
Oh, yeah. So I was asking, so what would you do in a situation where perhaps one of your brighter spots, one of your hard-working ministers who's doing very well, as far as the KPIs you have given him is concerned, he's delivering. But the person is nursing an ambition. Are you going to sack that person because the person is nursing an ambition? Oh, boy, Joma, he's doing a good job.
This is not a very difficult question.
Okay.
KPIs for political appointments also has to include, high moral standing. It has to include commitment to collective interest and so on. Okay, so KPIs, that's key performance indicators, are not just about, administrative work and statistics about infrastructural development and so on.
Right.
KPIs ought to be, for a minister, ought to be about commitment to the collective ambition.
Right.
It ought to be about high moral standing. It ought to be about other things.
Okay.
So one cannot have high KPIs when their conduct is undermining the collective will.
But the president will determine that, whether it's actually undermining it.
Of course, the president is the ultimate in government.
Yes.
You understand?
Right.
The president is the ultimate. And especially for President John Dramani Mahama, my reading of the situation is that he has tremendous influence in the party.
Right.
That's my reading of the situation.
Right.
I may be wrong, but I think that he has tremendous influence in the party.
Right.
Beyond that, his popularity amongst the population gives him a certain edge. You understand?
Right.
Unlike most presidents, I think he's got it all. He's got it all, and it's important that these 4 years, you know, are used to build a legacy for himself.
Okay. All right. So I want us to look at some of the issues. Now
Before we go there, I mean, this collective ambition that Kwesi keeps having.
You still disagree, huh?
Well, when does it end?
It has to end
at what point? Because whether you like it or not, like I said, there will be primaries.
You mean there has to be a successor?
Certainly. And that the primaries would necessarily take place way before the general elections when your mandate then expires.
Okay.
So at some point, that collective ambition will have to be shelved for personal ambitions to come to the fore. But I agree with you in principle that look, if your ambition seeks to undermine the collective ambition, then by all means, you ought to be brought in line.
Right.
But otherwise, if like you said, the KPIs are being met, I'm delivering on the work that has been assigned to me, that then goes to further the collective ambition, the mandate that we've all been given as a government.
Right.
I fail to see how anybody should be faulted for that. And this social media thing, these days, that's where the people measure performance of ministers. How visible you are is what people then deduce to mean that you are performing.
Oh boy, Juma.
Right? So every meeting that ministers go, you see them post. I used to do the same when I was at the Ministry of Tourism. Right? You have to put your pictures of the meetings, the engagements that you are doing on social media for people to see that this man is not sleeping. So you can't fault them necessarily for the social media presence. It is what it is, and it's not even in Ghana. I'm looking at the new British Prime Minister, right, Andy Burnham, making video clips, reels, posting on social media on a regular basis. Why? Because that's where the news is now.
Right.
So really, let them project themselves for the people to see that they are working. My good friend Ato posts practically every day on aspect of the work that he's doing. He says he's funding free SHS and all sorts of things. As if to say free SHS was not funded in the past. But that's it. He does the politics and still projects himself. Okay? So really,
you see,
so it's not normal.
It's interesting that you mentioned Andy Burnham of the UK.
Yes.
You know why he was elected?
Right.
Or why he was chosen as the new Prime Minister?
Right.
Because the populist reform UK appears to be making inroads. So they're looking for somebody who equally has a populist bent.
Right.
And that is how he became Prime Minister of the UK. So his strategy is not normal. He has a certain populist bent, and everybody in the UK recognizes
your friend Donald Trump's post every night like 200 times on social.
I'm not sure they are very, very good friends. They are friends, but I'm not sure I'm a very good friend.
He's a most interesting political character.
Hey, August, one of these, we have to go back to the Middle East.
I like him for some of his views, though. Broadly,
that's Trump.
Yeah.
But you see, I don't think that
conservative views.
Primaries in political parties are meant to give expression to personal, individual ambitions. I don't think that's the objective. Primaries in political parties are meant still to emphasize a certain collective will.
Right.
Okay. For example, if you take the National Democratic Congress, I know of people who have right-wing ideas, extreme right-wing ideas. They are in the NDC.
Right.
I know of people who have left-wing ideas. They are in the NDC. I know of people who say that they are social democrats in the middle. They are all in the NDC. All kinds of people.
Right.
They are Nkrumahist in the NDC. They are Dankwa Buziaist in the NDC and so on. It's a Congress.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, primaries also necessarily are a competition between these different trends and persuasions in the political party.
Okay.
You see, if primaries were about individual ambitions, then one could vote for himself and become presidential candidate. Nobody votes for himself to become presidential candidate.
Right.
It's based on majority voting. So it means that people in the party express to a certain extent collective, ambition through the primaries.
Right.
So even the primaries are still, to a very large extent, the expression of collective ambitions rather than individual ambitions.
Right. Right. I understand you. So I want us to move to another matter which has been simmering for some time now, but it's also exploding, and it's about the controversy surrounding the courts or legal vacation, or what some people say, judicial vacation, and the pushback by the Ghana Bar Association, the pushback by some lawyers whose clients' cases are going to be heard, despite the fact that they're supposed to be on vacation. The Attorney General's disagreement with the Ghana Bar Association stance on the matter, and indeed, some cases that were heard in the course of this week, the lawyers did not attend because they say, well, as far as I'm concerned, we're on vacation. Are we supposed to go on break? Okay, all right. No, so, and all of that. The Chief Justice himself has had cause to comment on this matter, and he also disagrees with persons who say that, look, let the vacation mean exactly what it is. If you say vacation, we have other things to attend to. He says, no, if we do that, we'll create problems. Uncle, see, before I read the stories in the papers, in fact, if you look at today's Chronicle, we have GBA takes on judiciary overhearing of high-profile cases during vacation. Ghanaian Times says lawyers cannot shun vacation trials, Deputy AG. And then you have the Daily Guide that says that Edu Boahen trial judge insists on legal vacation hearing. Okay. Let's watch this video before I read the stories.
Responsibility to attend to motions and other emergency processes from other courts. But as far as their courts are concerned, they are not on vacation, so they do their cases. I hope you understand what I'm saying. The cases that they have in their courts, they don't go on vacation as far as those that were there. So they don't. So that when the courts resume, they will also go on vacation, and the cases coming from their courts by way of motion will then go to other courts. So you don't expect him to attend all his cases to, the third time. Because when the third time comes, you also go on leave. So in effect, his case will not be heard for a period of about 5 months or 6 months. That's not it. So when we say cases, we take only motions and things. It is in respect of cases that have been brought from outside, which he can't take substantively anyway. So as far as his cases are concerned, he has to do them. And that brings me to the second point, adjournments. So when he decided that he's adjourning his cases to the 10th time, to the vacation day by day, whatever, it is his diary that he looks at to agree with you whether to write to the Chief Justice to say that the cases should not be adjourned to the vacation. So I am not coming. I have already made agreements outside, so I'm not coming. You are a lawyer. You have your clients. If your clients decide to give you leave, well, go on leave. But you cannot say that there's a legal vacation and the judge who is actually sitting cannot do your case. No, that's not it. And then adjournments are not at the instance of the Chief Justice. An adjournment is a judicial act. This is something that is so basic that sometimes when people write that I got a letter saying that I should withdraw the directive and also direct that the cases should be heard in the third time. I said, you went to court and the judge decided that she was granting you, giving the chance.
All right, so that's Justice Bafo-Boni, who is responding to persons who say, please, let's take our leave. Don't get a cause to sit when you have declared that we should go and leave. They have a problem with that, and he's been trying to explain why some cases have been listed to be heard during legal vacation. Now, the Chronicle this morning says that GBA takes on judiciary overhearing of high-profile cases during a vacation. This is by Bernice Bessie of the Chronicle, and she says that the Ghana Bar Association has protested a decision to compel some High Court judges to continue hearing part-head criminal trials during the ongoing legal vacation. The association has raised concerns over the recall of judges and the implication of the practice for lawyers who may have made prior commitments during the vacation period. Now, in a letter to the judiciary signed by GBA President Ifo Agati, the association said 3 law firms had reported receiving notices arising from warrants directing certain judges to continue hearing cases despite the legal vacation. So she says law firms have petitioned the GBA. So this is not GBA, it's the law firms who have an issue. Now, the GBA cited Order 79, which is Rule 4 of the High Court Civil Procedure Rules 2004 CI 47, which provides for 3 annual court vacations. According to the association, the current legal vacation runs from August 1 to September 30. Now, the GBA said the established practice during the vacation is for designated vacation courts to deal primarily with urgent and interlocutory matters rather than substantive trials. It argues that the recall of judges to continue with part-head criminal trials departs from the established arrangement and could place undue pressure on members of the legal profession. The association further contend that lawyers should not be compelled to appear during the vacation where they have already indicated that they are unavailable. In such circumstances, the GBA said cases should be adjourned to date convenient to counsel. But the Deputy AG disagrees. Now, the Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Justice Shremsai, has however rejected the GBA's position that the unavailability of lawyers should determine whether substantive cases are heard during the legal vacation. According to him, the authority to determine whether a case should proceed rests with the judiciary, particularly the presiding judge, and not with lawyers. Dr. Shremsai explains that legal vacation observed mainly during August and September is intended to reduce the workload of superior courts rather than bring judicial proceedings to a complete halt. He said vacation courts could, in appropriate circumstances, hear both interlocutory and substantive matters. Now, the Deputy Attorney General maintains that lawyers cannot unilaterally refuse to appear in court simply because proceedings fall within the legal vacation. He said lawyers who have genuine difficulties appearing during the period may formally apply to the court for an accommodation. Such an application, he explains, remains subject to the discretion of the presiding judge, who may either grant or refuse it, depending on the circumstances. Dr. Shremsai further cited court practice in England, where the concept of legal vacation originated to support the position that control over court proceedings remains vested in judges and the courts. He is warning that allowing lawyers to determine whether cases should proceed could undermine judicial authority and potentially contribute to delays in the administration of justice. Now, the Deputy Attorney General stressed that legal vacation should not be understood as lawyers' vacation, but rather as a period during which the courts reduce their workload while continuing to perform essential judicial functions. Now, the opposing positions have brought into focus the balance between judiciary's responsibility to ensure the timely administration of justice and the legal profession's established expectations concerning court vacations. Now, so I told you that there was a court sitting, must have been on Monday or so, and the judge is insisting that he'll hear the case whether the lawyer is present or not. And here I'm talking about Atachia's case with Edu Wahin. And I'll look at that, just a paragraph of that, and then I'll bring in my guest on this matter. Now, the Jibril Abdul Razak of the Daily Guide says that Justice Francis Achibonga Justice of the Court of Appeal, sitting as an additional High Court judge in the trial of former Director General of National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Idu-Boahene, and his wife, Angela J. Boateng, says he will continue to hear the case during the legal vacation until the Chief Justice revokes the warrant issued him. He has, as a result, warned the couple that if their lawyers fail to show on August 17, they would have to conduct the cross-examination themselves, a failure which the witness would be discharged. But I've also heard attached in some interviews where he says he will not attend the court sitting. Now, yesterday, Kofi, your party, I don't know whether it was a statement it issued or there was a press conference on this matter. To be honest, I haven't, but it's been captured in today's Custodian. No, so the MPP, as a political party, has actually waded into this matter over vacation trial warrants. Now, the New Patriotic Party has strongly criticized Chief Justice Bafo Boni for issuing special warrants allowing 2 High Court judges to conduct full criminal trials during the legal vacation, describing the move as selective, partisan, and a threat to judicial independence. In a statement signed and issued by NPP General Secretary Justin Kodja Frimpong on August 11, 2026, the party said it was deeply troubled by the Chief Justice public defense of the warrants granted to Justice Achibonga and Kokuvite. It knows that every affected case involves prosecutions of persons associated with the NPP. The NPP highlighted that 29 courts are currently operating as vacation courts across the country. The statement notes that under settled practice, these courts handle only motions and urgent interlocutory applications, usually virtually, and do not entertain substantive trials or even case management. Case management, I believe, is a conference? Yes, conferences. Japa, what's the issue?
I'm shocked.
Okay.
That this has even become an issue. It was my 22 odd years at the bar. This is the first time that legal vacation has become the subject of controversy. I've listened to the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic. See, my party and I personally have an issue with how government set out to remove the former Chief Justice and to appoint a new one. But on a personal level, I have known Justice Bafo Boni for years. I have enormous respect for him. Cannot for the life of me challenge his professional competencies in any way. That decision of removing the Chief Justice and appointing him was a political decision, and the politicians will have to bear the consequences. He, as a sitting judge, if he's so appointed, so be it. So really don't have any issues with him as a person. But I would have to respectfully disagree with him on the position that he articulated when he met the Judicial Service staff over the weekend that you just played. See, the rules on vacation is well settled. And we don't have only one legal vacation in a year. The legal year, which commences with the call of new lawyers, has 3 vacations. There's a Christmas vacation, there's the Easter vacation, and then there's this long one.
Right.
These are all provided for in law. If you permit me, Order 79 of the rules, especially Sub-Rule 4.
You're here talking the court rules?
Yes.
Okay.
Subject to Sub-Rule 1 or Rule 1.1, the following periods shall be observed in the High Courts as vacations. The period commencing on Tuesday immediately following Easter Monday in each year and ending on the Friday immediately following. B, the period commencing on 1st August in each year and ending on 30th September in the year. And C, the period commencing on 23rd December in each year and ending on 6th January in the next year. And it's not unique to Ghana. Indeed, and in fact, if you go to the UK, which is the jurisdiction from which we inherited our common law jurisdiction, there are 10, legal years divided into 4 terms. And it says here that the legal year is split into 4 active periods for the UK Supreme Court and Superior Court of England and Wales. The Hillary term, Monday, January 12th to Wednesday, April 1st. Then there's the Easter vacation, April 2nd to April 13th. This is for the 2026. The Easter term starts on April 14th to Friday, May 26th. Then there's a spring vacation, which lasts from May 23rd to June 1st. Then there's the Trinity term, which starts from Tuesday, June 2nd to Friday, 31st July. Then, of course, they go on the summer vacation from August 1st to 30th September. And then, of course, there's the Michaelmas term, which begins from Thursday, October 1st to Monday, 21st December.
So standard practice?
Standard across all common law jurisdictions, as far as I know. Okay. And my recollection of Glanville Williams learning the law is anything to go by. Standard. But, of course, the rules recognize that within the vacations, some causes or matters may arise that cannot await the commencement of the new term. FA provides in Rule 1 that subject to the Court Act 1993, Act 459, as amended, the Chief Justice may appoint any day, including vacations, for the hearing of causes of matters as circumstances require. So consistently over the years, every legal vacation, there are vacation courts. So, for example, if there are 20 high courts in Accra, 2 are designated as vacation courts. All of them have dockets that they are running. But if I have a case or a cause of matter in, say, Court 10, but Court 10 is on vacation, but there's an urgent matter that requires some action, judicial action to be taken, then the registrar will place it before the vacation court for that application to be taken, so that when I can get remedy or relief of sorts, so that when the term begins, that docket then goes back to the regular judge that is handling the matter to deal with. That's why you will see from the statement that the bar issued, and the MPP has also re-echoed, is that the long-held convention practice of the courts is that vacation courts are motions courts and interlocutory applications courts. That's what the practice is. And so to designate 2 high courts and grant them warrant to continue their part-head cases, not interlocutory matters, creates a problem.
Why?
Let's be honest.
Why is that a problem?
Because the vacation is statutory.
Okay.
And I'm saying that by practice, part-head cases are not determined during the vacation period. It's only emergency and interlocutory matters, motions that are determined. So why the part-head cases?
In any event,
hold on.
It's never happened before.
But this is the first time that I'm hearing.
Okay.
First time. In any event, the vacation period is only 2 months. In fact, today is the 12th.
Yeah.
We have 19 more days to end of August. and then 30 days in September, making a total of 49 days. The state can't wait. What's the urgency of these specific cases that requires that by all means the court ought to sit within the vacation period to continue those cases? And pursuant to these rules, people make plans. In fact, some law firms close entirely. My own office is running on a skeletal staff. I'm sitting here today, is a Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Because I don't have work. Except some drafting matters that come up, contract agreements that come up during the course of vacation, that solicitors work mainly that we get to do. Thankfully, these days, there's technology, it's email, there's practical law and other resources that are available. So you can even stay at home and still work. What is the haste? How many cases of a criminal nature are pending in the high court system as we speak? Thousands. Why these three? Why? That the state cannot wait for the regular vacation that is statutory to run its course, 49 days for October to come. Look, I really don't have any difficulty with expeditious trial of cases. No, none at all. After all, these guys have been going to court practically 4 times a week. I haven't heard anybody complain. I haven't heard any complaints. But we all who work in the court system, we know. Trials, especially criminal trials. You go to court and they call the case and prosecutor is absent, lawyer is absent, the agenda matter 2 weeks, 3 weeks. These cases, because the government wants to create a certain narrative out there that, look, my 22 billion oral commitment that I made to the people of Ghana, that these guys have stolen so much money, quantified as 22 billion, and that we're going to recover all these monies. So they are going through some expedition. And there's precedent. People go back as far as President Kufuor's era and all that, where former appointees were taken through daily trials. And I don't have any problems at all with daily trials. And I've not heard any of the lawyers complain with the daily trials, if you like, 4-day week trials that have been going on. But why the vacation? Why? I don't think that it augurs well for our justice delivery system. For these suspicions that you are being selective, that you are in a wanton haste to by all means incarcerate these people. In any event, the burden to prove the cases on the state. Right. Accused persons only have to raise a reasonable doubt.
And that's it.
And that's it. People want expeditious justice delivery, no doubt. But all that informed or was known to the framers of our rules when they were drafting these rules, that it's a hectic job. Both stakeholders, judges and lawyers who operate within the space, and let not the Attorney General make it look as if to say that why it's not lawyers' vacation. Why? What constitutes the judicial system that operates in this country? And lawyers are not a key component. Why is it a constitutional right for people to have lawyers of their choice when they are brought before the court on matters like this? So let's not trivialize some of these matters that are being raised at all. And I do the calculation of the days to really, for us to see, really, is it the 49 days that we are fighting over? That is generating the needless brouhaha. When people have a Formula 1 commitment to deliver on, is that the focus?
You know, Professor Kwekwaza, sorry, I'll bring you. You know, Professor Kwekwaza, he's been writing copiously on this matter. There's a point he raises in one of his articles that he's written. So he says, now, one, some people are creating the impression that the Chief Justice has selectively chosen certain cases to be heard during the judicial vacation. 2, that impression is simply false. 3, as has long been the practice and is expressly permitted, the CJ designates certain judges to serve as vacation judges. Now, 4, the appointment does not mean that they have been assigned special cases by the CJ. Vacation judges perform 2 functions. First, they hear motions and other interlocutory matters, as you said, in cases assigned to judges who are away on judicial vacation. Now, they do not take over the substantive hearing of those cases. Second, they continue to hear and manage their own cases in the ordinary course. In handling any matter, whether their own or motion in another judge's case, vacation judges exercise their independent judicial discretion. They decide whether to adjourn, proceed, or make any other lawful order without direction from the CJ or anyone else. Judges who serve during the vacation do not lose their vacation. Rather, they take the leave they have accrued at a later time. When that happens, their own substantive cases effectively go on vacation, while other designated judges handle any urgent motions arising in those cases. It follows that the CJ's designation of a judge as a vacation judge has no bearing whatsoever on how the judge manages or decides any case. Let me bring you in, Mr. Uncle.
You don't want a response from me?
No, I'll get it from you. Just chew on this. Please do. Or you want him to respond quickly?
Because as far as I'm concerned,
I don't have a problem.
Okay.
I haven't said anything different.
Right.
All I'm saying is that those part-head matters that the vacation judges are handling, typically, as far as I know, my practice recollection is that the judges will indicate that, look, I'm sitting during the vacation. So if you are minded, available to hear those cases, otherwise, then we adjourn to next term.
Right.
Some judges are minded. Most adjourn all part-head matters to the next term and deal with only interlocutory, because they can be daunting. You go to court during vacation and all these applications from all the various courts are coming before one judge or 2 vacation judges across the country. You should experience it for yourselves. So typically, part-head cases are not dealt with during the vacation. In any event, the lawyers have indicated that, look, I'm taking my vacation consistent with the rules. The judges are enjoined to defer the matters to the next term and do day by day. Nobody has an issue.
Let me ask you this.
If a lawyer insists,
I thought you was.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll come back to you.
I can you can ask me.
No, but no problem. Carry on.
Yes.
I don't have a problem.
No, I wanted to ask whether if a lawyer is not available to render services to their client, whether the courts can go ahead and hear the matter, or whether they are under obligation
that's
to stop
you see,
hearing the matter.
Justice Achibonga is my mate, you see. We're called to the bar the same day.
Okay.
He's a very good friend of mine. But I think that he'll be breaching the fair trial rules if he insists that in the absence of the lawyers, he's going to continue.
Really?
I think so.
Because I'm told there's actually there's actually a decided case.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the case is yours, but
where the judge said, also with or without a lawyer.
But of course, in most cases, those things are set aside. Okay, and I agree with your case.
Yeah.
But the Constitution also grants you the right to choose a lawyer to argue your cases for you. In this case, they have lawyers on record who have indicated their unavailability during the statutory vacation period. I'm saying all that has to be done is to grant them their right so the matters can be continued in the new term beginning October 1st. They can do 24-hour economy in that regard. I don't have any issues with that. But to insist that by all means they should come to the courts during vacation for these matters to be continued is really, really, really needless. And the brouhaha that is generating is completely unwarranted.
I'm just wondering, I mean, lawyers serve their clients, don't they? Anyway.
Yeah, but the lawyers serve their clients within rules.
Yeah, within rules. Yeah, I get it. I was just thinking.
They serve their clients within rules.
All right. Okay, so let me hear your thoughts on this matter, please.
Well, the first point I'd like to make is that judges are also citizens.
Yes.
And judges have rights. which ought to be respected. Now, to glibly, and I mean glibly suggest that judges are in cahoots with government to achieve a political end without providing any substantial evidence, I think is reckless. Because the suggestion that, look, government is in a haste to prove that it's achieving the objective of its aura, and the judges are only, towing the line, is to suggest corruption on the part of the judges. And I don't think that this should be said lightly without the provision of concrete evidence.
Right.
You need to protect the rights of judges, also as citizens, and making unfounded, extremely reckless allegations against judges must be frowned upon. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing I'd like to touch on simply is this. I wonder if there's anybody in the legal profession or outside the legal profession who would argue that there's no right to speedy trial. Every accused person is entitled to speedy trial. Okay? Now, how do you have speedy trial in a situation where virtually you're talking about 4 to 5 months of the year is spent on vacation without making arrangements for the continuation of cases? That's a question we should all be answering. Every accused person, no matter what crime they have committed, are entitled to speedy trial. Now, all of these lawyers who are insisting on their right to vacation and so on, imagine if their clients had been unduly denied bail and they were in custody. Would they have the same attitude? And if they had the same attitude, what would that say to their commitment to the protection of the rights of their clients? They are doing this because their clients are on bail. They are enjoying their liberty and so on. You understand? Imagine if we had a case in which their clients had somehow unlawfully been denied bail and were in incarceration. Would this be their attitude? And if this would not be their attitude, then let us test for consistency. Logical consistency and legal consistency. We need to test that. The other point I'd like to make simply is that legal vacations are no innovations. Throughout, they've always been legal vacations. Okay. Now, what is interesting is that vacation judges are entitled to their vacation after the statutory vacation. You understand what I'm saying? So, for example, the judge who is hearing the Dubuahini case is a vacation judge now.
Yes.
Okay. At the end of September, that is September 30th, that judge will take his vacation also.
Yes.
Which will last for 2 months.
Yes.
Okay. If that judge is not hearing cases before him or her now, it will mean that that case is being suspended for 4 months.
Sure.
When indeed the provisions for legal vacation envisages that the cases will be suspended for 2 months. In the case of vacation judges, if you make the argument that my brother and friend Ejapa is making, the cases will be suspended for 4 months.
Yeah.
What does that say about speedy trial? And what has this got to do with government agenda and judges pursuing government's agenda and so on? Absolutely nothing. Okay. Now, from the explanation of my brother Ejapa here is a very good lawyer. Judges of vacation hear other cases from other courts, not regular cases. They hear injunctions, cases of injunctions and so on, from other courts and so on. Let us assume that a judge, a vacation judge, doesn't have any of such cases before him or her. And it is possible. You cannot predict whether those cases will come up or will not come up. Yes. It depends on how things unfold in the course of the period. Okay. So if the judge is a vacation judge who would enjoy her vacation after September 30th, and those kinds of cases do not come before her, what do you expect her to do? Sit down idle, do nothing? Master, sit down idle and do nothing? So the logical scenario is that the judges will continue their own regular cases, and that if there are other cases of emergency nature, if there are other legal matters of emergency nature from other courts, because they are sitting, they can then address those in addition to their own cases before them. How is this a problem? How is this a problem? Now, there's a case of the suggestion that once the courts go on vacation, lawyers necessarily go on vacation. There's a problem with that. The duty of lawyers is not just to appear before courts. And Ejapa said that his own office is running, on skeletal basis as well. Yes. So lawyers have many other things to do. They simply do not go on vacation because the courts are on vacation.
Right.
You understand? And even if we assume that lawyers go on vacation with the judges and so on, by their own creed, their own oath, even if they're on vacation, once matters relating to the rights of their clients and so on come up, they are duty bound to appear before the courts. In any case, who determines dates for hearing of cases? Is it the lawyer or is the judge?
Right.
It's clear. The answer is clear. It is the judges who make a determination, not the lawyers.
Absolutely.
The lawyers don't tell the courts when to sit and when not to sit. That's the prerogative of judges.
Absolutely.
We are now getting into a situation where lawyers want to play the role of judges. And that's a problem. You understand? So, what is my view? I think that we should grant the judiciary the independence to do its work and not interfere with judicial independence. It's clear.
Because he's been posing the question about why the haste. He's looking at the cases that have been listed to be adjudicated upon by the court, and he's asking, there's only 49 more days. So you're trying, wait, why the haste? Why those cases? Why?
Speedy trial.
Yes.
It's in the interest of the accused persons too.
Absolutely.
Speedy trial. It's not just if I were accused and taken to a court, I would wish that the matter is gotten over with as quickly as possible.
Especially when I know I'm innocent.
Exactly. So who says that speedy trial is always against the interest of the accused person? It is not true. It cannot be true.
That's true.
In fact, accused persons should be fighting for speedy trial.
Yeah.
For speedy, execution of justice.
I agree.
It's in the interest of the accused person. Unless you're saying that some delay endures to the benefit of the accused person, I don't know how that is possible. If anybody can make the argument that if you delay a case, the accused person benefits, how does the accused person benefit?
Unless logically the accused person doesn't think that they have a case. They think it's a bad case. Then you want it to
I won't make the statement you are making.
Yes, I think it stands to reason.
I won't make.
If I don't feel that I'm innocent, then I would want the case to drag on.
Yeah, because the accused person should want the case to be dealt with expeditiously. Every accused person, especially innocent accused persons,
but there's another issue.
Want the cases to be dealt with expeditiously.
But there's another issue.
Yes, please.
Unless also the accused or the defendant is not convinced that they'll get a fair trial.
Master, if you will not get a fair trial, is it not better for the trial to be hastened so that you can go for appeal and get your rights?
Well, by that time you would be in Sawam.
Yeah, but then if you are not sure of a fair trial, if it's delayed, you will still be in Sawam.
Yeah, but yes, I know, but...
Or you are hoping that the judge will die if it's delayed so that you can get another judge. If you are not hoping that the judge will die, then if you have to go to Islam, the earlier you went to Islam,
the better.
Against the judgment, the better. Tell me, what is this argument?
Ejapa, look, he says it's also in the interest of the accused.
I don't have any difficulty with that.
For those trials to be done speedily.
Exception is everything. So, there are in excess of 100,000
cases,
criminal cases that are pending before the courts. Right? So, look, and Kwesi, I agree. I'm a practitioner. And I think that the judicial system is the last bastion of protecting the rights of Ghanaian citizens. And so you notice the constraint that I have in speaking against the judiciary. I premise my comments with my personal relationship that I have with
the Chief Justice,
some of these individuals involved. And so I'll be the last to bastardize the justice delivery system. But I said, if you recall, that actions like this feed into the public perception. But if you isolate the political cases and grant warrants to the vacation judges to continue, separate from every other case that is pending within the system, it has issues. That's why I'm saying that. What's the point, really?
But you also agree. But you also agree with me, Kofi.
Allow him to.
Let him ask his question. It's fine.
No, you know,
because I want to understand
the point about the posture of the judiciary and how that feeds into a certain public perception. You know, this public perception that keeps coming. I mean, it's not the first time. It's been with us for a very long time. You know, don't you blame the politicians for creating, feeding, and funding this public perception? Sometimes it doesn't even exist. Somehow, depending on who is adjudicating over a certain case and who the person is. Look, today, as we speak, the Ghana Bar Association has issued a statement. And do you know what's happening? People are tracing the president of the GBA, who her husband is, and so on and so forth. And that in itself has colored how the GBA's statement is being taken or is being perceived. So I'm saying that sometimes some of these perceptions we keep talking about are created by the politicians.
So if they are avoidable, and as far as I'm concerned, this is very avoidable. Why even create a fertile ground for it to take roots and you know continue within the space? You see, I agree. Fair trial and expeditious trial is desirable. No doubt. And I'm not so sure whether the fact that people or the lawyers are insisting that let's comply with the judicial calendar as we all know it necessarily amounts to people having a fear of guilt, and so that then becomes a route to delay. I'm not so sure, because it was within the contemplation of the drafters of our rules, having in mind the need for expedition, having in mind the need for fair trial, that they still went ahead to establish a calendar for the judicial system, which includes vacations. Okay? And so, to insist that, look, defer the matter that is pending before the court to term time doesn't mean that anybody wants to run away. I'm coming. People plan their year.
Fair.
Some lawyers do not work during vacation at all. It is their right. He has cases, he goes to court, say, well, my lord, I'm not available during the vacation. Let's adjourn to the next side of the term. And courts are minded, as always, to grant them. Of course, if the judge is going on vacation, he's going to indicate that, well, hey, immediately after the legal vacation, I'm going to take my leave. And so I would ask counsel to make some accommodation. if possible, to let us deal with these matters, both in criminal and civil matters. It happens. But it's an agreement between the parties. It is not something that can be imposed. That if you don't show up, I'm going to proceed. I haven't heard it before. And so if the lawyers are saying that, look, my lord, we agree that you're going to go on vacation, too bad. The matter has to be deferred until your vacation is over and you come. So we continue to deal with it. In any event, the lawyers are going to be working. The other judges that are sitting, people have multiple cases that they deal with. So it's not as if to say that asking the matter to be deferred during the vacation will mean that the lawyers will have double vacation. No. On October 1st, people will resume the year and will go and attend to other matters. Of course, if these judges return from their leave post that, the matter can continue.
Okay.
So really, and I go back to the point. What's the haste?
Okay. I get. Let's take a break. We have to.
Very small point.
Small point.
But important. You know. Look, there's precedent.
Yes.
Of judges deciding to continue cases without the presence of legal counsel.
Yes.
And one of the precedents that I can remember very clearly is the Chachu Chikata case.
Yes.
Don't forget, in the Chachu Chikata case, the judge decided that in the absence of Mr. Chikata's lawyer,
one professor, something,
yes, the case could continue, and that it didn't infringe on any law.
Yeah.
And there are many other cases like that.
Right.
Now, the second thing which is important is that there's no evidence that political cases have been deliberately isolated for continuation during the vacation. What has happened is that some judges have been designated vacation judges. And it just happened that those judges are handling some cases which some call political. And why do you call the case political? They are criminal cases. What is the political case in this?
In fact, it's called high-profile political cases. That's how they are described.
When there's a dictum that all of us are equal before the law, how do you have high-profile cases and low-profile cases?
That's true.
As a lawyer,
we have to try and reconcile.
When you accept the dictum that everybody is equal before the law, how do you then turn around and say there are high-profile cases and low-profile cases?
Yeah, but I think
so the carpenter's case is low-profile.
Yes.
And the minister's case is high-profile.
Yes, sir.
How does the dictum
in theory
apply?
In theory, you are absolutely right that everybody is equal before the law. But in reality, there are some cases we'll call high-profile.
So in reality, you are not equal before the law. Is that what you're saying?
You see,
and is that what you expect a lawyer to say?
Well, we're supposed to be equal before the law.
Oh,
we're supposed to be. Whether that is the case, that's another matter.
Okay, no
that's
problem.
another matter.
Before you go, just a quick. You see,
then you are not going anywhere.
Let it not be put out there that Chachu's case proceeded in the absence of counsel. It's not true. It was just the delivery of the judgment. The trial throughout. Yes. It was the
delivery of the judgment.
I'm coming. But the lawyers don't make any representation. They are not cross-examining during delivery of judgment.
They plead for mitigation.
So please, yeah, I agree. I don't have a problem. But I'm saying that the trial itself took place in the presence of Chachu's lawyers. Fact. The judgment day was when the lawyer was absent. So you can distinguish the two quite clearly. But to suggest that there's precedent that trial took place in the absence of lawyers, and you cite the Chachu Chikata example, that's not entirely accurate.
Okay. Nasa.
Yes, sir.
Here is my brother and friend Ejapa separating the delivery of judgment from trial. Okay. How is that possible?
Okay.
How is that possible?
But judgments are delivered after the conclusion of trial.
But I've actually been wondering.
It is the judgments which conclude the trial.
Oh, please. But they are delivered on the conclusion of the trial.
No, the judgments are the conclusion of the trial.
Very well.
But you know that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. So we'll take a very, very brief break. It's a very, very brief one. And then when we return, we'll try and wrap up on this matter. And then we'll take a trip to Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn in the House is one of my favorite tunes by Notorious B.I.G. There's something happening there. So stay with us.
There they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum Mr. Femi Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Femi sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Come on, Tom Preco.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference. Wahuni Diema on Mine Tumpong.
Hello, I know very well that you care about the environment, and for that reason I expect you to be part of the IMG Clean Conference on the 21st of August at the CD Conference Center. Let's meet, engage, and find a better way of protecting our environment. I'm sure it's important to you and you will be there. My name is Fifi Boafo. I will definitely join you at the conference. See you.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Thank you very much for staying with us. We appreciate you. We value you. I'm still here with the Honorable, once an Honorable, always an Honorable, Andrew Kofi Ejapa-Mensah, who is former MP and also former Deputy Minister and former Minister. He's also a lawyer. And also Mr. Kwesi Prajini is also here. He's a former Managing Editor of the Insight newspaper and also a veteran, a seasoned journalist. So, and gentlemen, should we move on? Or you still have something to say about the judges matter? I think we should. So, obviously, have you been following this issue which happened in America, where a federal court in America has actually, this November, would be, well, let me just say, they've been convicted a Ghanaian cum American, one, I think is Kweku Bekun, over some fraud and money laundering issues and so on. And Ghanaians are asking that if indeed he claims that he had to bribe his way to get an AXA deal, which was in 2014, 2015 to be sealed, who are the people he gave the money to? And the special prosecutor has come out to say that it will conduct, Yoko, special prosecutor at the General Department, said, look, they'll conduct their own investigation and get to the bottom of this, and that whoever has taken a penny would have to be able to pay it back and the person will be prosecuted. But the question has been asked as to whether can we find the people, especially when there's no clarity as to whether indeed, this said gentleman paid the money to the names of the persons whom have been alleged to have taken the money. So if you look at today's custodian, we have U.S. investigator flags $42 million for Ghanaian firm in AXA Energy deal. I'm just going to do just 2 paragraphs and get your brief thoughts on this because we don't have all day. I even have a quick announcement to make. It's an extremely important one because it's been paid for. Let me do that briefly before I bring the 2 of you in. I beg of you. Now, this one here is about the National Youth Authority. There's a program that started on the 1st of August and is inviting all young people across Ghana to be a part of the National Youth Month 2026. It's happening from 1st to the 30th of August. It's on the theme Rebuilding Values, Inspiring Patriotism, Empowering the Youth in the Digital Age. The celebration is kicking off on Saturday, actually kicked off on Saturday, 1st August, with the National Voluntary and Community Service Day. And it will be followed by youth engagement with Christian and Muslim religious leaders on 6th and 7th of August. Now, from 10th to 13th of August, the National Youth Conference is taking place at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and is bringing together young leaders and stakeholders from across the country. Now, then, from 16th to the 19th of August, young people will make their voices heard at the National Youth Parliament. The excitement continues on 21st of August with the Interagency Football Gala at the Accra Sports Stadium and is followed by intergenerational dialogue on the 21st of August. The month-long celebration comes to a close on 30th of August with a Red Means Stop campaign at the Independence Square, and the young people are encouraged to register or attend register to attend, volunteer, exhibit your products and services, or sign up as media partners through the official National Youth Month registration portal. There, this August, volunteer, learn, lead, serve, National Youth Authority, facilitating youth development. And also, the Clean Conference is happening live. It's on the 21st of August, and what we're trying to do is that we're bringing together government development partners, traditional authorities, industry players and academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians to answer a very, very, very important question, which will be that we're just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030. How far has Ghana come? And this is happening at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. And the theme is assessing Ghana's progress towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 7, clean energy, and SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. And this is under the auspices of Ghana's Chief of Staff, Dr. Julius Debra himself. The following day, which is Saturday 22nd, you'll be leading a charge, you'll be leading a team to clean some parts of Accra. So that's a very important information. And there's more and more institutions that are coming on board. At some point, we'll be giving you a list of some of the institutions that are coming on board who want to be a part of this groundbreaking and innovative, event. So, and also I've seen a lot of your messages. Let me see if I can get my guests to just do briefly on this matter, and then I can read the message because there's a lot. And I've been these days, the last 2 days, I've browsed some of you, not deliberately because of time. Obviously, following this Beku matter, I don't know, but it says that the U.S. investigators have flagged a consultancy agreement between Turkish energy company AXA Energy and a Ghanaian consultancy firm in which the former agreed to pay a whopping amount of $2 million to the latter. This was disclosed during a trial where a former Goldman Sachs Group incorporated banker Kweku Asante Beku was convicted, among others, for paying bribes to NDC government officials to secure power deals. And in Ghana between 2014 and 2015, during President John Dramani Mahame's first term in office. Now, the SEC claimed that Beku facilitated up to $4.5 million US in bribe payment on behalf of a Turkish energy company to win the contract. And it goes on and on and on and on. The bankers began questioning the payment, specific information that was given, the alleged $50,000 was payment, and so on and so forth. And we've also seen Dr. Kwabena Donko as a former power minister who has actually gotten his lawyer, a doctor, and that's Mr. Katie Amon, to issue a statement saying that he's never met him, has nothing to do with this, and so on. But what do you make of this, just briefly?
So, first of all, let me start with a complaint.
Okay.
And I've been appealing to you.
Yes, sir.
To just play the jingle on the centenary of it.
Oh, yes. Oh.
And the event is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Actually, no, we played it yesterday, Wangosi, to be honest with you. We played it yesterday. We have to play it this morning. We played it yesterday. I don't know why they didn't play it today.
I thought that you would do me that.
Oh, I beg you. Let me ask them to play it, in fact, before we close. I beg you, Pa. It was played yesterday, to be honest.
Okay.
Yes.
No problem.
Please go ahead.
Now, the conviction in the U.S. was done on evidence. And apparently, the chap who has been convicted, Beku, left too many trails. Emails, letters, and so on. And it was on that basis that he was convicted. The problem is that as of now, based on all that I've read, there's no concrete evidence that he paid any monies as bribes to anybody.
Right.
You understand? There's no evidence. It's his word. There's no receipt. There's no transfer into bank accounts of the persons he alleges he paid bribes to, and so on. So it's just his word. And I'm wondering if it is possible to proceed on the basis of just the word, of a convicted person. That's one.
Okay.
The other thing that makes me happy is the fact that relevant institutions have started investigations into the matter.
Right.
I'm told that Yoko, for example, is trying very hard, to find whatever evidence it can find. I'm confident that if there's anything in this matter, it will be unearthed through the Yoko investigation. So it's a matter of waiting to see. We're all waiting with bated breath.
Okay. All right.
It's strange how Senior commences his comments by saying that there is no evidence of payments, no receipts, no transfers for the people that he allegedly made those payments to. But the emails emanated from either him or from some other persons to him, rendering accounts of how much.
The emails were between him and the people who were supposed to be paying the bribe, not the recipients. I've looked at the emails.
But you see, I'm not so sure whether anybody will receive bribes via an issue receipts or via bank transfers. I'm not so sure that anybody will do that. And so, to that extent, expecting to see receipts and proof of transfers really would be asking for too much.
Except that in the case of the person who has been convicted, he actually issued receipts.
Of course.
So it is not true that those dealing with bribe money don't issue receipts.
The assertion is that he was working through some companies that had been set up as conduit. And if the person who is making the payments, in this case, AXA, is accountable to its directors and shareholders, they want some proof that these payments have been made through these companies. And so that one there, being issued receipts wouldn't be far-fetched. For the purpose for which those monies have been paid would not indicate bribes, right? For purposes of their accounting. It probably will indicate consultancy fee payments or something. I don't know. But you see, the larger question that we ought to be asking is, how is it that in cases such as these large power procurement regimes, large public procurement transactions, acquisition of aircrafts, and all that, we hear of these kinds of schemes playing out?
It's simple.
Tell me.
All these giant companies have a component of their expenditure for these purposes. But usually they are classified as consultation.
Ways and means.
Consultations.
Yeah, consultations.
You know, all these giant companies, all of them, without exception.
So is it the case that...
So it's industry practice.
Yeah. Okay, so is it the case then that public officials are induced by these standard practice, industry standard practice payments to award these contracts to these companies?
Well, you can logically come to that without any proof, but...
No, the companies desire to do that.
Yes.
As to whether public officials accept...
It's another matter.
It's another matter.
That's true.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
In fact, the guy in court...
This Sergio Ramos rule that you are playing is surprising. You are not a public officer. So let's interrogate the issue. Because, look, you see...
Oh, Master, but why should
I'm coming.
Why should the Gapa be asking somebody like me this question? Gapa, you have been minister before.
Yes, I agree.
You've dealt with this situation.
Well,
you should know whether when you were a minister, these things came your way or didn't come your way. Why do you ask me? I've never been a minister before.
You see...
And perhaps we've never been before.
That's why I said that we need to ask the broader questions.
Why do these things keep happening?
That why do they keep recurring? Why do we keep hearing these kinds of things? That's the case that people just sit, formulate these schemes, and make claims on the bidding companies and pocket it.
Yeah.
Or that, in fact, they induce public officials in actually awarding these contracts to them. It's a difficult one.
Very.
But to suggest that the relevant institutions have begun working, strange. When, in fact, the U.S. Justice Department says that they worked with Ghanaian institutions in unraveling some of these evidence that was used in prosecuting the case. So at what point are they now coming to engage in some investigation here in Ghana when they've already worked with the US authorities in doing the case in America?
Yeah.
And it's interesting to read what Martin Amidu, the former special prosecutor, has written.
Right.
And as far as he's concerned, when these matters came up right from the very beginning, some investigation was started. Why it left the updates that the special prosecutor's office was churning out from time to time comes as strange to him. Okay. But it will be interesting to see what the investigative authorities here in Ghana will come up with. Because yes, I've read Kwabena Donkor's statement, Dr. Kwabena Donkor's statement that was issued through Katie Amond. And I'm constrained in passing any judgment, on whether indeed and in fact the payments that are alleged to have been made, the 1 million that is alleged to have been made to this government official actually reached him, or that somebody took it in his name and didn't get to pay the money to him.
Right.
Let's see how it plays out.
Okay.
But we should all be concerned that in transactions of this nature, consistently, when the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act is triggered, especially when American companies or American finance houses or some other American citizens are involved, it's increasingly churning out these allegations against public officials.
That's a concern, I agree.
In our country. We should be concerned.
All right, so Reverend Samuel J says, good morning to you and your panel. Mora, I do agree with the MPP guide for questioning why they are in a hurry to sit during vacation for judges. But at the same time, I would like you to ask the MPP, for me, to understand why they are not also in a hurry to take the opportunity to clear their name so that they will be free from all the accusations. I think it's also an opportunity for them to end this matter once and for all if they are really innocent, as I believe they are. You remember we were taught by the MP to allow the court to do its work, but what has changed? I'm just surprised. So Peter T from Shukura says, Moro, why are we still struggling to understand the law? We're told it's consumable to all Ghanaians. We lived in this country when MP played a political drama on getting all of us convinced to believe, to understand their own interpretation of the law and the reason Victor Salemo should be prosecuted and convicted. So what has changed all of a sudden? Is it about bad governance in their time? We want to know the rationale behind their concerns. This one here from Manche Bruce II, he says that, Moro, you can imagine the outcome had the Santibe Kumata involved from officials of the MPP administration. I'm persuaded that arrest would have been effected forthwith, accompanied by the imposition of hefty bail conditions. A country called Ghana. Greetings to Uncle Kwesi and Bobo. Manche Bruce II from Takrade. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm, he says that, good morning, my brother. Seriously, I have a problem with the stance taken by the MP, and I'm so disappointed in the former AG and lawyer Tachia. The same people attended to courts during the legal vacation in 2023. 1st August, 12 High Court judges were selected to hear cases during the former CJ Tokono. And the question I want to ask this morning is that were the lawyers going to court or not? It is clear they want to delay those cases in court, so they should still in court. They should appear in court and raise their cases before the judge and stop disobeying the Chief Justice. It's clear they want to undermine the authority of the CJ who has the powers according to the Constitution to do what he's doing. And then also this one here from Carlos from Ododojojo. He says that, good morning, Kwesi, please stop what you're saying. E.T. Mensah is not as experienced. Mensah is not as experienced a lawyer as you want us to believe. If he were truly experienced, he would not be making the kind of arguments he's making, even when the ordinary people would not argue in the manner. They are saying that oral is dead, and therefore those who are responsible have been called upon to account. Instead of appearing before the court and accounting for the stewardship, they are engaging what appears to be unnecessary legal maneuvering and delaying the process. I believe they should be made to appear before the court and account for the stewardship. We are also waiting for the time when Mensah himself will be called upon to account for his stewardship. He has always said it time and again that he's ready anytime. Now, Nanan Kansa says that lawyer fares have been increased from Tema to Medina by 4 cities. Please, has the GPRT increased fares? If so, what is the percentage? All right, you want to know. Siddiq says that, Assalamu alaikum, brother. Good morning to you. I thought a legal vacation came about because the colonial masters imposed judges to every country they colonized. Therefore, the judges go on break at a particular time of the year back to England to brief the Queen and also plan for the coming year. So if these judges are no more with us, why do we still have to go for vacation break? Well, this matter has been raised several times, but we don't have all day to get into it. Now, this one says that today is Ken Ashigbe's birthday. Dr. Ken Ashigbe, he's an engineer, and I think he's now with the Chamber of Mines or so as the chief executive. No, not the chief. I think they are. Exactly. Happy birthday to you. Kojocho Mboafo says, good morning. So in 2024, when Ato Force's case was scheduled to run during the legal vacation, was the then government in cahoots with the judiciary? Ejapa, please enlighten me. I want to know. Now, Simon says that, Simon, good morning. Now, Vitus Azim, who is an anti-corruption crusader, says, I expected this reaction from the lawyers, disingenuous, illogical, ignorance. You can even add unreasonable. But we're not learned, so forgive us. How many self-employed persons go on leave? Do the state attorneys take leave after this legal vacation? Comparisons are used to make point, my brother. And then finally, I guess that we're done with this. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for your time. Uncle, so we're going to play your thing. Finally, I'm going to play. Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. is a former managing editor of the Inside the Source. So let's watch this.
A century of courage, a century of conviction, a century of revolutionary legacy. Join the SBECAN, Association of Ghanaians Trained in Cuba, under the auspices of the Embassy of Cuba in Ghana, for the Fidel Castro Centenary commemoration under the theme Fidel Castro at 100, Revolutionary Legacy, Pan-African Solidarity and Global Justice. Witness the launch of Quote of Fidel Castro, Echoing the Voice of Freedom, authored by Penyin Anaman, and the Fidel Castro Centenary Legacy Initiative 2026 to 2027. Date Thursday, 13th August 2026. Time 10:30 a.m. prompt. Venue Accra Metropolitan Assembly Auditorium. Don't miss this memorable occasion as we celebrate a legacy that continues to inspire generations. Don't miss history. Be there.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and